Hi, my name is Michelle Diamond, and I am CEO of Elevate Diamond Strategy, a growth strategy development and execution firm with specialties in new market entry, competitive intelligence, M&A, and strategy execution. I wanted to just take a few minutes just to discuss the importance of having a strategic growth advisor and having a growth strategy in place. I think oftentimes companies, regardless of the size, because again, I've been fortunate enough, I shouldn't say again, but I have been fortunate enough to work with many clients in the 65 companies and 31 industries to date and counting, from startup, early growth stage, small to middle market, to up to Fortune 1000, Fortune 50, whether they're on their own, whether they're private equity, venture capital backed, and really been able to deal with all these different situations, whether they're growing and they just want to accelerate the growth, whether they're not growing and they're stagnant, they want to accelerate it, or they're bootstrapping and they want to get out of that mood, or losing money and need to turn around and then get the trajectory of growth. Either way, the end goal is the same to accelerate that growth. And oftentimes, in working with so many CEOs, C-suite executives, senior leadership team, and then even sometimes, other levels, is really being able to go in and see things that maybe you can't see. We all get to a place where we're too close to something sometimes, or we're so accustomed to doing something the same way that, you don't really know how to do things differently. And that's the benefit of having a strategic growth advisor, being able to have someone come in like myself who can give you an unbiased view, who can see gaps where you may not be able to see it, as well as bring in the extensive external knowledge that, quite frankly, when you're in a business, unless you're in a business where you're dealing with multiple industry verticals and you're up to date and up to speed in a lot of different things, and even then, it's still hard to get an outside perspective, being able to bring that internally to yourself to educate yourself as well as your staff and whoever else that you need to have be kept up to date is extremely important. And especially that unbiased view. I know I mentioned that before, but I've been brought in for a lot of engagements just because I'm able to do that and help to be able to help companies, again, in any of those situations I mentioned before. Because whether you're in a bad situation, you need to turn it around, or you're in a great situation, you just want to keep on making it greater, because you do understand that to keep growing, you have to not rest in your laurels. You have to do things differently sometimes, or you have to do a lot of the right things over and over and over again. It's not always differently. Now, you don't always need to pivot. There's no need to be a huge strategic shift. Sometimes it's necessary, but sometimes it's not. And even that's the benefit of someone like myself to come in and any of the strategic growth advisor that you may choose. But it's really about being able to know what is the best path to keep you getting to that next level. And you're always trying to get to the higher and higher and higher level, no matter where you are. Those who are at the top don't remain complacent. And so oftentimes they're still looking for that as well. And so, when you're thinking about what you want to do for your company, definitely, if you haven't already, think about investing in a strategic growth advisor. I know that I've worked with many different companies and I understand the nuances, not only from where you're at and what goal you're trying to achieve, but also in terms of different personalities, because that's important. Also in different functional areas, that's important. Making sure that everything is something also that's implementable and executable, because it's not about just what looks good or what looks good on a pretty deck, but it's about what you can actually do to make things happen for you and your company. And for those of you who are accustomed to doing it, it's like a no-brainer, but I definitely want to make sure that you can invest.